Welcome to Takeover. How was your guys' weekend? Because mine was
fantastic, Cam. Thank you for asking.
Oh, man. First Bama, and then, but I'm here to tell you right now, they're not beating Alabama in Tuscaloosa. First Bama, and then the Saints let the mediocrity of the Falcons march in our stadium, and we don't score a touchdown. Ooh. We don't need to introduce ourselves because you made it to episode 6.
Beautiful day.
So go ahead and play the intro.
Well, for our first topic of the day, Cam kind of pointed it out. The game of the century, part 2, was quite the spectacle. 46-41 in favor of LSU. So let's take a second. Let's break it down.
What's happening right now?
Did LSU beat Bama or did Bama beat themselves? What are we saying, guys?
All right. So, of course, it was a little bit of Bama beating themselves because you can't have Devontae Smith drop a pass. You can't have Judy drop 2 that could have led to scoring. You can't have Tua have 2 interceptions that lead to 14 points. But let's not get on that. Let's talk about how LSU came in there and they played their butts off. They didn't care whose home turf they were on. They knew that they were going to win, and there was nothing that you could do about it. This is the first time that a Nick Saban defense since 2007 has allowed over 500 yards, 559 to be exact. You look at Joe Burrow. He had over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He had crucial first downs, and he had 13 straight completions, and he was playing so accurate and so efficiently. If that doesn't scream Heisman winner, I don't know what does. Then you have Chase. He had 140 yards, 1 touchdown. You have Hilaire. People were talking down on him. Nobody believed in Hilaire. He came in there. He was running through tackles. He was breaking through tackles. He looked like something out of Madden. He was hitting spin moves and everything. He had 103 yards and 3 touchdowns. And when you look at the secondary, like I stated before in the last episode, this was the best secondary that Alabama has faced yet, and that was evident. When you look, the defense wasn't perfect by far, but they were still able to put pressure on Tua to where he was uncomfortable and he threw interceptions. This team did amazing third down conversions. There were times, especially as an LSU fan, there were times where I didn't know what was going to happen. I was kind of scared, I'm not going to lie. But then Joe Burrow and the team itself, they were able to make those conversions happen. So yes, Alabama beat themselves a little bit, but LSU finished off the beating.
Beautiful soliloquy, but you are terribly wrong. But before I get into my take, let me say something about Joe Burrow and Clyde Edwards. Amazing. Played probably some of the best college football I have seen. Joe Burrow looked elite. He is more NFL ready than Tua as what I've seen right now. He shredded the defense. It was something incredible, and it was great play calling on LSU side. Clyde Edwards reminded me of Mark Ingram. A Mark Ingram Heisman winner. By the way, he was toting that thing versus Bama. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them their respect. But if you watch those first 2 quarters and you're watching Alabama and you're over here dissecting the game, Bama left all the money on the table the first 2 quarters. You got an early fumble by Tua. You got offsides by Raekwon Smith. This is the most undisciplined I've seen Alabama play for the first 2 quarters. And you factor on that with you have an error passover at the end of the second quarter, and then you give LSU a touchdown that way. We saw a missed field goal. It was just too many weird things going on with Bama, and it was like the perfect recipe for LSU to win. They played a great game, but Alabama in the first 2 quarters gave the game away. They stormed back in the later parts of the game. But as you saw that beginning, they were literally giving it away. You even had a muffed punt. I understand LSU played a great game, but Alabama literally gave it to them the first half, and they couldn't catch up the second half, and that's why I think they lost the game. And other than that, it was just Trayvon Diggs in that part, but that's a whole different other storyline for me. But go ahead, Josh.
I see what you're saying in that Alabama wasted some opportunities, and they gave the ball away a lot. But I think part of especially in this game, because it was honestly, in my opinion, the two best teams in college football right now.
Oh, definitely.
I think the reason LSU won was because they capitalized on those opportunities. Because sure, Tua fumbled without getting touched, but LSU then had to drive 90 yards and score a touchdown, which ended with the Jamar Chase touchdown, where he absolutely bodied Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs was just...
Trayvon Diggs got little hands.
Literally, I've been preaching that he shouldn't be on the team, but go ahead.
So I understand what you're trying to say in that they kind of gave LSU a lot of chances, but at the same time, I think LSU, you can't say that Bama beat themselves because LSU still had to capitalize on all those opportunities.
Yeah.
And LSU also had to hang in the game when Alabama turned into Alabama and came storming back. Like a lesser team, when Devonta Smith had that touchdown with 2 minutes, which by the way, I said that was going to happen right before it happened. You can ask him. Anyway.
Yeah, we watched the game together.
So... even after that, a lesser team could have let that kind of get in their heads, but LSU stayed cool. They fielded the extra point, and they ran for the first down, and they iced the game. So, and also, before we move on, before anybody says anything, I would like to say I called the Clyde Edwards-Helaire because I said he was a big game runner. I said he was going to be the difference, and wasn't he the difference? I think he was the difference. Thank you very much. I think I know what I'm talking about.
No one ever questioned if you knew what you were talking about. I just think you get out of a little pocket. You got out of pocket sometimes, right? That's all I'm saying about you. But I understand. Yeah, out of pocket. But I mean, I understand what you guys are saying because Bama. I mean, it was equal in the later half. What I'm saying, I feel like Bama just gave too many chances to LSU.
Absolutely.
In the first half.
But I think
at least one of the things doesn't happen. Like remember, it was like 12 men on the field. Bama couldn't capitalize on offense. It was self-inflicted.
The dude ran on. They had 11.
We had 11 and they ran 12. It was self-inflicted wounds that could go either way. But I'm gonna give it to Joe Burrow. I'm gonna give it to Clyde Edwards. They played amazing. Yeah, but I just feel like if Bama doesn't make some of those mistakes, it's not a totally different game, but it's way closer.
No, part of the fabric of football is people making mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of football. So it's very hard to say a team beats itself when it's just turnovers.
Yeah. And teams make mistakes all the time, but they still come out with the win. So it's like...
When you put yourself in a 20-point hole and have to come back, I mean...
It only works for the Patriots.
I know, right? It was 25 points.
All right. So we're moving.
What happened on Sunday?
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay, so moving on to basketball, we see some big men and we see the talent that shows in the big position in the NBA. So, in you guys' opinion, who is the best big man in the league?
Quite simply, I think the best big man is the one that can do the most, and he can do the most at a high level. And that is why I picked Nikola Jokic, because Nikola Jokic offers the most versatility. He offers the most array in his skill set. And there's really nothing on a basketball court he can't do. He can shoot the three. He's a good mid-range shooter too. He is the best passing big man in the NBA right now by far. He can operate out of the post. I mean, he's not the greatest because he's relatively limited in his vertical explosion, but he's got very good touch. He's a smart player. And then on defense, I think the issues with his defense are much overblown. I think he's not a mobile defender. He's not like Rudy Gobert. He's not going to completely shut down the paint.
Not a complete rim protector.
But at the very least, he's going to make it hard for you. He's going to make you earn all your buckets. And so while I'm not going to say he's game-changing on the defensive end. He's game-changing on the offensive end, and he does enough on the defensive end to where he's not a complete negative. And therefore, he's the best big man because you can truly build a team around him because you can run your offense directly through him, and he can score and he can pass.
Okay, I understand what you're talking about when you talk about him. I mean, he can literally do everything with Spectrum. I mean, literally, he fits into any system. I feel like he fits really well. But when I think of big man, I think of dominance. Someone who's going to bully you from the time they get on the court, and they're going to talk a little bit in your ear. And that doesn't scream anyone to me but Joel Embiid. Averaging last year 28 and 13. He's going to body you out. I mean, he has the best post moves in the NBA, in my opinion. I feel like he's like this Akeem Olajuwon type. I mean, he has the best footwork at his size, and he can hit the three also. He's kind of a modern day Akeem is what I've seen, basically. And I mean, he ranks top 10 in defense. He's a great rim protector, and he can literally just take over the game anytime he wants to. When healthy, Joel Embiid, I mean, he may be a top 5 player when healthy. I mean, he's still maybe top 10. But when I think of every other center, I don't really see anybody comparing with Joel Embiid like anyone else. So I picked Joel Embiid as my best center.
Okay, so I went with Anthony Davis. he's a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent, and the fact that LeBron is willing to defer and give the ball to Anthony Davis shows what type of a powerhouse he is. The King LeBron James would not just allow somebody else to take control over the ball. So the fact that he's letting Anthony Davis do that is evident.
He let Kyrie do it.
Take control?
Game 7.
55
2016.
seconds
on the
swung
clock.
it to right. He's a passing type of player. Well, finish your take.
Okay.
Finish your take.
As I was saying, he's in his prime. He has mid-range. He can play in transition. He can play center, play point. He has a 3-point shot. He's averaging 26 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists right now. And last year, he averaged 25.1 points, 10.7 rebounds, 1.4 steals, 2.3 blocks, and 4.4 assists. There has only been 3 players able to do that from the age of 20 to 24, and that was Shaq, Anthony Davis, and Bob McAdoo. And there are only been 2 players to do that from the age of 23 to 24, and that is Anthony Davis and Bob McAdoo. And those are just big man stats. We're not just talking about the numbers that he does on the perimeter. And he's at the time of his trade, when he was traded to Los Angeles, he was number 2 in the league in scoring behind Harden, and he was hitting over a third of his 3-point shots. That was when he was with the Pelicans. Evident. So then you have he can beat you off the dribble. He's such a threat on the perimeter to where he doesn't even have to shoot it. He can pump fake and run to the basket and get points that way. And then you have his size, length, his foot speed. I think he's one of the best in the NBA. Don't even try to run a pick and roll on him. Defense, and he's dominant on the pick and roll on offense. On defense, he's one of the players that can guard the pick and the roll. And if you're getting a pass around him, don't even try it. If he's trying to go to the basket, then he's just that's a steal for Anthony Davis. So I just feel like if I want to go to a championship, I would pick Anthony Davis just for the simple fact that look at what the Lakers got rid of just to get him. And like I said, he's a generational talent. And to me, he's top 5 player.
But
I understand you said,
what did the Pelicans do with him? What did the Pelicans do with him?
That's the front office. That doesn't have anything to do with him. That's the front office.
But I feel like if you're going to say that he's a generational talent and he's this awesome, unguardable player, I'd expect a postseason series win, at least one.
He beat the Trailblazers.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. And they
when
made
Boogie Cousins went down, they were 1-5. He took them for 10 straight wins and clinched the 6th spot in the West.
I feel like if you're going to call him a generational talent, I'd expect him to be able to take a team that is admittedly mediocre and at least take them to the second round multiple times. Because we've seen that done by other generational talents. I mean, Anthony Davis is supremely talented, absolutely, but I don't know just how much he affects winning. Nikola Jokic on the Nuggets has taken them, he's affected the team and he is the number 1 player and he's got them on top of the West. He's got them sitting in a very good spot.
But he's not the number 1 scoring option on that
Yes,
team.
he is.
You have Murray on that
Jamal
team.
Murray's
You have a plethora of scorers
All Jamal
playing for
Murray
the
can
Nuggets.
do is score, though.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. He's not
Jokic
the main.
does everything.
He facilitates. But we're talking about scoring and defense. Jokic isn't even in this conversation with AD and Joel Embiid. I understand what you're saying.
That's how he plays.
That's how
if
he
he
plays.
wanted to, he can hog the ball. But
I'm
he doesn't.
thinking.
But
Joel
everything all
put
around.
40. Yeah. When you look at that.
But then he fell out.
Who?
Joel
fouls out? I think he makes the other team foul out. I think it's so hard to guard Joel Embiid because he's the most skilled big man in the league. I understand what you're saying.
I feel like it's hard
passes.
to build around a post player nowadays. I feel like the NBA.
But the thing is, he can shoot as well. I don't know anything.
He shot 30% from 3.
But he still made. If you leave Joel Embiid open, I feel like you pay for it more than often now. I feel like you do. You put Jokic in the post. I feel like you put Embiid versus Jokic in the post. I feel like Embiid's dominating for 4 quarters. Because he's bigger, he's going to bully them, and once he takes you to the outside, he's going to beat you off the dribble.
That's one small part of the game. Jokic
I just named you 3 parts of the game. I just named you 3.
Jokic can run an entire offense.
Okay, that's fine. I just named you 3.
Jokic can pass and shoot.
Congratulations. I just named you 3 parts of those. But he plays better defense than him, and he scores better in the post.
Whatever.
I'm just saying. You don't have.
You're just.
You ain't got the answers. All right. Since our last segment was kind of taken by First Take, take it or leave it, I watched First Take a little too much, so I was like,
we don't want a copyright strike.
We don't want that.
Therefore,
so we're gonna have the
to
same idea, but we're gonna call it Cop It or Block It. And I mean, for the older people that watch this, cop it means you agree, okay? When you cop something, it's like you want it and you agree with it. Blocking it is pretty self-explanatory. But I'm going to start it off right here. Cop it or block it. Lamar Jackson should be the favorite to win the MVP by the way he's been playing lately. Why are we both blocking it?
Because Russell Wilson still exists.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Patrick Mahomes still exists.
I would have to see how the rest of the season goes down with Russell Wilson and if Lamar Jackson continues to play the way that he's playing. So do you guys think that load management or resting players is a problem?
Okay, look, I'm going to keep flipping this because, look, it's good for the team because, I mean, like, for instance, I feel like they're low managing Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, why does the regular season matter? If you get any spot with Kawhi Leonard, I think you're going to cause damage in the playoffs with him being extremely healthy, 100%. LeBron James, when he's 100% in the playoffs, we know what happens. So, I mean, it's bad on the other hand because, I mean, like, fans come to see these matchups for players like, I remember it was like Kawhi versus Giannis, and Kawhi didn't play. I mean, you just paid thousands of dollars to watch nobody play.
Yeah, my problem with it, like you said, is you rest superstars for marquee matchups.
Yeah.
Part of it to keep them, healthy, and part of it to kind of deflect the national attention so that it doesn't become something that it really shouldn't be.
Yeah, my last cop it or block it question.
Whoa.
Oh, you didn't go. You didn't go. My bad. I skipped you. My bad. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's mad at me. Anyway, my question is of the football variety.
Okay.
Should the Carolina Panthers move on from Cam Newton?
Definitely cop it. You win, 5 games straight with your new quarterback?
I think it's
four games straight,
take.
and you look like, and I mean, Cam Newton doesn't look like he can throw really anymore. He was never really an accurate thrower. I mean, him taking as many hits as he does is really not going to change anything. He's not as elusive as Lamar Jackson. So I shy away from Cam. I think Cam era is over.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Cam just for the simple fact that we haven't seen the same Cam since
Cam
forever. So, and also I think I would just like to see him go somewhere different as well.
I think they need to move on from him, if just for the fact that they save a bunch of money if they cut him or trade him. They'll save $19 million. That's a nice chunk of change.
That's gonna wrap up the show for us today. Again, tell us who won these debates. I want to thank you guys for watching. We put in this work for you guys every week, every Monday. We try to shoot these videos out to you guys. You guys got anything to say?
Spam L's in the comment for the Saints.
And for LSU.
Drop an F in the chat for Cam because he's been through it.
Watch, we'll still be in the college football playoff, and the Saints will win the Super Bowl.
The Saints will win the Super Bowl.